Liam Payne, a former member of the boy band One Direction, passed away, and 3 individuals have been accused in connection with his death. The authorities in Argentina have ruled out the possibility of third parties being involved in his fall. Rogelio Roger Nors, a close friend of Liam Payne, has denied that he abandoned the former member of One Direction in the hours leading up to his passing. According to reports, Roger has refuted allegations that the police conducted a search warrant at his residence in his hometown of Buenos Aires and has stated that he is not a suspect in the inquiry. However, 3 suspects have been taken into custody in connection with the death of a former member of the band One Direction, and they are currently being interviewed as part of an official inquiry in Argentina. Although it is thought that one of those is a friend of the late pop artist, the identity of the person in question has not yet been revealed. Last month, Liam, who was 31 years old at the time of his death, passed away after falling from a balcony on the 3rd level of the Casa Sur Hotel in Buenos Aires. According to the Office of the Public Prosecutor in Argentina, one of the individuals who had been escorting Liam was charged with the crime. They have been charged with abandonment of a person followed by death, a crime that carries a maximum punishment of 15 years in jail. Reporters have been informed by Roger that this is not him. He concluded by saying, "I never abandoned Liam. I went to his hotel 3 times that day and left 40 minutes before this happened." During an interview with Mail Online, the individual provided the following statement: "When I left, there were more than 15 people in the lobby of the hotel chatting and joking with him. Not in my wildest dreams would I have anticipated that something like this would take place. As a result of this terrible event, I am completely devastated, and I have been missing my friend every single day." A third individual, in addition to an employee of the hotel where the British singer was staying, has been charged with selling drugs together with the employee. In the meantime, according to a forensic psychiatric evaluation, the prosecution has ruled out the possibility of third-party involvement and self-harm in the circumstances surrounding Liam's death. Prosecutors said in a translated statement, "Although other medical background information from the victim's clinical history must still be analyzed, the phenomenon of the lack of defense or self-preservation reflex in the fall, together with other relevant data from his consumption, allow us to conclude that Liam Payne was not fully conscious or was experiencing a state of noticeable decrease or loss of consciousness at the time of the fall," prosecutors said in a translated statement. Earlier this week, the remains of Liam was brought back to his hometown in preparation for his funeral, which is anticipated to take place on Friday in Wolverhampton, which is located in the West Midlands. After the fall, he suffered several injuries, including internal and external bleeding, which ultimately led to his death, according to the findings of a post-mortem study. His body was discovered in the courtyard that is located inside the hotel. However, at this time, orders have been issued for at least 9 raids to be conducted on houses in Buenos Aires, and the prosecutors have stated that some of Liam's equipment are still being examined. In addition, the prosecution stated that exhaustive and meticulous measures were taken to clarify the circumstances surrounding the death of the former member of the vocal group One Direction. Following the tragic event that took place on Wednesday, October 16, members of the music community and fans from all over the world attended vigils and paid tribute to the deceased. Liam Payne, one of the most well-known members of the internationally successful boy band One Direction, has had a tumultuous journey both personally and professionally over the past few years. While much of his life has been chronicled in the media, it's his relationships with family, friends, and former bandmates that have often made headlines, fueling speculation and rumors. Recently, a bombshell statement made by one of his close friends has stirred up conversations and rekindled interest in the complexities of Liam's life offstage. In an exclusive interview, Liam's friend, who has requested to remain anonymous for personal reasons, addressed the ongoing rumors and backlash surrounding their friendship. The friend firmly denied accusations of abandoning the star and opened up about the deep feelings of loss they've experienced since their falling out. The origins of the friendship. Liam Payne's rise to fame began in 2010 when he was selected as a member of One Direction on the UK's X Factor. Over the years, the band became a global phenomenon, breaking records, selling millions of albums, and making countless public appearances. But beyond the music, the members of One Direction, including Liam, formed close friendships, many of which remained long after the group's hiatus in 2016. One of Liam's most trusted companions during these years was the individual who recently spoke out. The friend first met Liam during the early days of One Direction when the band's fame was starting to peak. The friendship blossomed as they shared not just the joys of success, but also the struggles of navigating life under the public eye. In the early years, the pair was often spotted together at social events, concerts, and casual hangouts. They were inseparable, with Liam even referring to his friend as a lifeline during the difficult periods of One Direction's hectic schedule. "We were always there for each other," the friend recalled. "Liam was an incredible person to be around, and we went through a lot together both personally and professionally. He's an extremely kind and loyal person. But like anyone in the public eye, there are things people just don't see. The tension and rumors." The turning point in their friendship came shortly after One Direction's hiatus. As the band members branched out into their solo careers, the pressures of individual fame began to weigh heavily on them. For Liam, his solo music, personal life, and constant media scrutiny became sources of stress. For a time, the friendship between Liam and his close companion appeared to fray. Public appearances grew rarer, and their communication seemed to dwindle. This led to rampant speculation among fans and the media about what had happened between them. Rumors circulated that the two had fallen out over personal differences, with many people suggesting that Liam's friend had distanced themselves, perhaps tired of the constant limelight and challenges that came with being close to a global superstar. The truth, however, was far more complicated than what the tabloids suggested. "I never abandoned him," the friend explained, their voice tinged with emotion. "It's so frustrating to see the stories that were out there because they couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, we've had our differences. We've both had things going on in our personal lives that made it harder to stay as close as we once were. But that doesn't mean I walked away. I miss him every day. I miss our old conversations, our old times together, and I think people assume that I just cut him off, but that's not it." The darker side of fame. Being in the public eye has its challenges, especially for young stars who grow up in front of millions of people. For Liam Payne, this experience has often been one of emotional turmoil. In his time with One Direction, the pressure to live up to fans' expectations and deal with constant media intrusion was overwhelming. The scrutiny didn't stop when the band disbanded. It only grew more intense, with every personal move dissected and analyzed. For those close to Liam, like his unnamed friend, the fallout from the band's hiatus was emotionally taxing as well. "I don't think people understand just how difficult it was for him when One Direction went on a break," the friend explained. "It wasn't just the end of a band. It was the end of a whole era. For a lot of us, it felt like we were losing part of our identity. And when you're dealing with your own personal struggles, it's hard to be there for others in the way that you want to be." Liam himself has been open about his battles with mental health, admitting in various interviews that he struggled with anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation during his rise to fame. In his 2022 documentary, Liam Payne, The Truth, he described how the pressures of fame affected his friendships and personal life. It's clear from his friend's statement that these struggles were deeply felt by those around him as well. "I've seen Liam at his lowest," the friend said. "I know the kind of person he is, and I would never turn my back on him during that time. We all went through so much together, and it wasn't easy. But sometimes the space we needed for our mental health took us in different directions. It doesn't mean we weren't there for each other. It just means we had to handle things in our own way." Rebuilding the friendship. The most revealing part of the interview came when the friend discussed their hopes for the future and their desire to rebuild the bond they once shared with Liam. "I've always hoped that we could reconnect," they shared. "Life gets complicated, and sometimes you lose touch with people. But that doesn't mean the love and respect aren't still there. I think time apart has given both of us perspective. He's doing better now, and so am I. The truth is, I don't want us to stay apart forever. I want to be there for him, like I always was, but it has to come from both sides." The emotional vulnerability in the friend's words was palpable. Despite the hurt they had both experienced, there was a clear sense of yearning for reconciliation. "It's hard because on the outside, people think I just abandoned him, but that's not the case. I've always wanted the best for Liam. Always. And I hope one day we can rebuild our friendship, even if it's different from what it once was." Liam has also expressed similar sentiments in recent months. During interviews and through his social media, he has shared his desire to reconnect with people who have played a significant role in his life, both personally and professionally. Fans, too, have been vocal in expressing their hopes for a reunion, as many continue to be invested in the relationships that helped shape One Direction's legacy. The pressures of being a celebrity friend. The friendship between Liam Payne and his companion is a reflection of the unique pressures that come with being close to a famous person. Often, when one person in a friendship becomes a public figure, the dynamics change. The constant surveillance of their lives can put immense strain on even the most solid relationships. When you're a regular person with a friend who's in the public eye, it's very different from being a celebrity yourself, the friend reflected. It changes the way you interact, and sometimes it makes things feel more transactional than they are. People want you to fit into the image they've created of that person. They don't always understand the real human being underneath. Despite these challenges, both Liam and his friend are hopeful for the future. As they navigate the complexities of life after One Direction, the possibility of rekindling their deep bond remains open. At the end of the day, what's most important is understanding each other and offering support, not just when it's convenient, but when it really matters, the friend said. "I hope Liam knows that I'm here for him just like I always have been." The statement from Liam Payne's friend has shone a light on the unseen side of fame, revealing the personal struggles and complexities of maintaining close relationships while under the public's watchful eye. As fans and media continue to speculate about Liam's personal life, it's important to remember that friendships are not defined by public appearances or the stories told by tabloids. In this raw and heartfelt confession, Liam's friend has set the record straight. They never abandoned him, and they miss him every day. It's a sentiment that echoes the longings of anyone who's experienced the pain of losing touch with someone they care about. As Liam continues on his journey of self-discovery and personal growth, the hope remains that time and understanding will heal the rift, allowing for a future where old friendships can be revived, not through media speculation, but through genuine connection. As Liam's friend said, "There's so much love and respect there. I just want him to be happy, and I hope that one day we can both be there for each other again."